All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. We're talking about a really intriguing team in the National Football League in tonight's video, and that is, of course, the Los Angeles Rams. They had a really unexpected playoff run that resulted in a wild card exit 2 years ago. Last season, obviously, they responded very well, continue to build off that foundation. They won the NFC West. They go 10-7. They win a playoff game, and then obviously, unfortunately, lost in the divisional round to the soon-to-be Super Bowl champions, Philadelphia Eagles. They had a shot to win the football game, and this team just, they do such a good job at drafting. It's crazy. And we're definitely going to talk about that in just 1 second. But Matt Stafford, most importantly, is coming back to be the Rams QB in 2025. I don't think he was ever not going to be brought back, but he was given the ability to explore trade options. And then on the defense side of the football, the defense is just young. They're rapidly ascending. The defensive line is turned into a beast. And now, especially with the addition of Puna Ford, which we'll talk about in just a second, it's crazy. Braden Fisk, Puna Ford, Kobe Turner, Byron Young, Rookie of the Year, Jared Verse. The Rams last season, this is why I'm so interested in the Rams draft. The Rams, for the first time since 2016, had a draft pick in the first round. And they picked, like we just said, outside linebacker Jared Verse, who ended up winning Defensive Player of the Year or Defensive Rookie of the Year last season. Now, their free agency period, lower key moves. Coleman Shelton brought back on a 2-year contract after a 1-year stint with the Chicago Bears. They made a move for Davante Adams. Obviously, Cooper Kupp is now with the Seattle Seahawks. So Davante and Puka, that's got a lot of people excited, rightfully so. And then, like I said a minute ago, one of my favorite moves of the entire free agency in the league was Puna Ford coming over on a 3-year, $29.6 million contract. But before we get into it, just heading into draft talk, the Rams pretty much filled, at least as far as I see it, all their starters are pretty much filled, right? Cornerback, right tackle, just for the future. Inside linebacker, tight end for the future. Receiver, just because I know they got Puka, they got Davante Adams now, but they do such a good job at drafting. It's just crazy. Davante Adams, he is 32 years old. I get it. I will talk about that in just a second as well. But my point is, the Rams are ready to win now. They're ready to win in 5 years. They're just rapidly ascending, and it's such an intriguing team because, Matthew Stafford's not getting any younger, but the Rams aren't getting any worse. So let's get off with Puna Ford. But before we do, hit that like button, hit that sub button for daily NFL content. Post at least one Rams video every single week. If you guys could try and get this video to 250 likes, folks, it goes an extremely long way. So thank you. Now, Puna, dominant run defensive player last season. He placed third amongst all defensive tackles with an 80.3 PFF run defensive grade. And just considering the Rams in general, their line was so good at getting to the quarterback. They were so good at getting to him, but they weren't good at stopping the run. They were 22nd in total rushing defense, giving up 130 per game. So Puna Ford, that signing makes a whole bunch of sense. He's coming off a career year. In his one lone season with the Los Angeles Chargers, he tied his single season career highs in tackles for loss at 8, quarterback hits at 9, and sacks at 3. Now, those numbers at face value may seem a tad underwhelming. Keep in mind, he played only 55% of snaps for the Chargers last season. Ask any Charger fan, ask any fan or football guy who's just watched Puna Ford play for Los Angeles, or if you guys watch some film, watch some tape, the dude's a game wrecker. He's such a beast. And there was that fascinating quote from Jason Kelsey, who said, his least favorite guy to go against at the time was backup nose tackle Puna Ford. So he is a former Texas Longhorn, and he actually was undrafted in the NFL. And so the Seattle Seahawks sign him. He makes the initial 53-man roster in 2018 and then started 64 of 76 games over his first 5 years with Seattle, had 181 total tackles. So he's been with a couple of teams in the NFL. He's coming off the best year of his career. Schematically, just the way he fits in Los Angeles' defense, it's absolutely golden. And then real quick, before we talk about Matthew Golden, Davante Adams. So we mentioned the wide receiver room being a possible position to need. And you have Davante Adams, you have Puka Nacua, who's got 2,500 receiving yards in his first 2 years. but they do such a good job at finding wide receivers. And also keep in mind, the Rams have the 26th overall pick. They have no second round pick. They have 2/3. So a lot of people are speculating if there's not, a clear cut pick when the first round comes, that they could trade back to help get more draft assets because they don't have a second rounder. But McVay and the Rams, I mean, I don't even need to explain it. Nakua in the 5th round, Cooper Kupp in the 3rd round, Whittington in the 6th round. I mean, they do such a good job at finding draft picks in general, but specifically wide receivers. So that's why I want to talk about Matthew Golden, because Devontae's 32 and he's still super solid. He's more of like a top 5 wide receiver number 2 in the NFL, borderline above average wide receiver 1 even on the right team. Like, look at the Raiders last season. He averaged 2.04 yards per route last year, which was 27th amongst all wide receivers. So he's still got plenty left in the tank. Now, I don't think personally the Rams at 26 are going to be drafting Matthew Golden, but I did see a Athletic mock draft where you guys had it, and here's what he had to say. I'm sorry, I don't remember the author. I mean, come on, Snead loves the players coming out of Steve Sarkisian's programs these days, and Golden is an every route, every alignment target. Golden wins at the catch point and can be a chess piece for McVay alongside Nakua, who can also line up anywhere. So, like personally, for me at 26, if Matthew Golden's there and they take him, I mean, that's terrifying for the offense. That's absolutely terrifying. But I also would say, just judging from, what I'm hearing from Rams fans looking at the roster, a cornerback at pick number 26 might be the most preferred route for fans and just for the team construction in general. Not that it's necessarily thin. I guess it is a little bit thin, but their secondary is pretty much the same at the cornerback position, and they were 20th in passing yards per game allowed last season. So let me know who you ideally want to pick at 26. Might be the wide receiver out of Texas, might be the cornerback out of Texas. So don't count that out. And then if they don't make a move at 26 to trade back, round 3, you have 2 picks, pick number 90 and pick 100. And one guy that really stands out for me with the Rams, because Higbee at tight end, when he's healthy, is clearly tight end number 1. But he is on the last year of his contract. And I'm looking at a guy, I saw a mock draft, round 3, pick 100, Harold Fannin Jr. out of Bowling Green there. He just had a phenomenal season, 112 catches for almost 1,500 yards. He had 843 of those after the catch. He also forced 33 missed tackles after the catch, which was 15 more than number 2 on that list, which was Tyler Warren, a projected top 10 pick. Now, people say he's undersized. People say he runs slow. So that's kind of why I think it would be interesting to snag him in the 3rd round as a developmental piece for Los Angeles. So, folks, let me know your thoughts on the Rams free agency period thus far, and then give me your ideal target at pick number 26. That is it for me. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend, and we'll see you soon. Peace.